Hello everyone, and welcome to my first true crime video. My name is Cathy Kim Lee, and I don't know why I'm whispering. I really don't know why I'm whispering, honestly. Okay, so this is my second time recording this because the first time I recorded it, this thing decided not to record the entire thing. So it was like a full hour of just. And then I was going to just upload the camera footage, but then I was listening to it and I was like, man, I wouldn't watch this if someone else posted it like this. So I'm deciding to actually record, hopefully it's recording it again. And, I just want the best for my first video. So many of you guys know that I've had a YouTube channel before, and then I deleted it because I wanted a clean slate, I just wanted to make a YouTube channel where, I can post things that I like, and I want to talk about true crime, food, vlogging, fitness, things like that, just anything. And like my other YouTube channel was just me being random and doing random stuff that I saw on the internet. And, I didn't really enjoy that, and it cost a lot of money, and I don't have that money. So here I am. So you're probably wondering why I'm holding my mic like this. It's because I lost the screw to my stand. So let's jump into the case that I want to talk about today. And it's the case about Elisa Lam. We're going to talk about that. Elisa Lam was a Canadian student at the University of British Columbia. Yeah, she was a smart cookie. She was born on April 30th, 1991. And people described her as a very outgoing, cheerful person. Growing up, she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression. But she did take prescribed medication to cope with her depression and bipolar disorder. And that's okay, that's completely okay. Elisa did post things on the internet about her bipolar disorder and depression. But for me, if I went on social media and I saw things like that, I would feel like, oh, I'm not alone, and it's okay not to be okay. Just seeing things like that makes me feel a little bit better about myself, and it makes me feel less lonely. So Elisa decided to take some time off of school, and that's okay. School's really hard. Like, I major in biology, and I hate it. I mean, I don't mind it per se. Anyways, off track. We're getting off track. Elisa was taking some time off of school, and she just decided to go to California by herself, and her family was totally okay with it, She posted her entire trip on social media. She went to the San Diego Zoo, and she posted that. And she called her family every single night to just let them know how she's doing, how's her trip going. She was staying at the Cecil Hotel in California. So the Cecil Hotel, we'll get to that later, but it's a little shady. It's a little shade. So she shared her room with a couple other people, but she ended up getting her own room because her roommates were saying that she was acting strange. The hotel manager was like, okay, fine. Whatever, we'll put her in her own room. And so that's like already a red flag right there. Something's going on, something's not right, but her family didn't know about this other than the roommate and the hotel manager. So she was scheduled to go to a hotel in Santa Cruz. That was her next stop on her trip, and she never made it there. And that's the crazy thing about it. Her family was like, okay, she's not calling us, she's not checking up on us. So they decided to file a missing persons case with the Los Angeles Police Department. Of course, they had questions like, well, did Elisa have any signs of like wanting to run away or anything like that? And they're like, no, not at all. Like, she seemed like a normal person. So they didn't think of it, Her family comes out and begins searching, giving and providing information to the police, such as any of her clothes, stuff like that. And the police, they brought out, the sniffing dogs, the ones that go. Unfortunately, the dogs weren't able to find any traces of Elisa. The dogs, they just came to a dead end. So with no leads or anything, her family made flyers, posted around the whole entire neighborhood. There was no luck. And she disappeared on January 31st, 2000 and 13. That wasn't even that long ago. That was 7 years ago. That's so sad. So about 18 to 19 days, the guests that were staying at the Cecil Hotel, they were complaining about how the water quality was really bad, how the water kept coming out black, it smelled gross, it tasted gross, because, people were taking baths, taking showers, brushing their teeth, or, like, just washing dishes or whatever, and it was just horrendous. They were just saying, like, it smells like death. So, of course, the water maintenance people, they come out and they're like, okay, fine, we'll take a look. Let's see what's going on. Two big men and the doors were locked, so they had to unlock it and then go up to the water tank. And the water tank is huge. It's shared amongst like a kitchen, the hotel itself, and I think another building, but it's shared amongst a lot of people. It's a 1,000-gallon tank, so that thing's like ginormous. So whenever you open it, it's like a big lid, and you have to like pry it all the way open because there's like a wheel, and then you have to. And so whenever they opened it, that is where they found Elisa's body, naked, floating in the water with her clothes beside her. And in her clothes, they found her hotel key, her ID, and things like that. So they were just like, huh. Oh no. They brought her body for an autopsy, and her autopsy showed that there was no physical trauma. It was just like the normal bloating, decomposing, because this girl's body has been missing for 19 days. So of course they did a toxicology test, and the results came back, normal. I mean, she had a consistent amount of prescription medicine for her bipolar disorder and her depression. And on top of that, she had some non-prescription drugs in her blood system, but it was mostly like just ibuprofen. You know how you get a headache on a trip and you're like, oh, I'm gonna take some medicine. So it's normal. There was a small amount of alcohol in her system, but it wasn't enough where she could have gotten drunk or tipsy or anything like that. And also, there was no recreational drugs in her system, so she wasn't high. And I kind of want to describe her physical appearance to you guys, because honestly, she was very skinny. She was probably as tall as me, like 5'2", super small. She didn't seem like she was physically strong enough to open that lid for the water tank. So now I want to talk about the Cecil Hotel's background. The background for that thing is like just not amazing, but just so all over the place. The hotel itself was built in 1920s, and it fell into a really bad economical state after the Great Depression in the 1930s. But it still stayed. It's still kicking. So, like, there has been a lot of weird cases that happened there. Like, the pigeon lady, she was a lady that got murdered in her room, and that case was unsolved. 2 big serial killers actually stayed at the hotel. Do you know about the Night Stalker? Yeah, he stayed there. And then Jack Unterweger, I can't say his last name, but he also stayed there too. So that's like a coinkydink, in my opinion. Many suicides have been reported at the Cecil Hotel as well. So in my opinion, I feel like that hotel was just haunted. Like, there was voices that fed into people's minds and, just stuff like that. Have you seen The Shining? It's kind of like that, where Jack is a dull boy. Blah, blah. But the hotel was also a big inspiration for American Horror Story's Hotel with Lady Gaga. So that says a lot about the hotel itself. Let's talk about the security footage of Elisa Lam. This was her last appearance on video, and it was her taking the elevator. It looks like she was trying to go back to her room or whatever, but she was acting really strange. So on the security footage, it was her just acting super out of the ordinary. She comes in and then she crouches down and she starts pressing the buttons on the elevator. And then she stands behind like the doors, and then she kept looking out, looking back in, looking out, looking back in. But like the biggest thing I noticed is that the elevator doors never close. And you know how elevators are usually like, I'm gonna close right now. I don't care. I'm closing. Like, you can be running to it, or someone has their hand out. Those doors are gonna chop your hand off before you can get into the elevator. They don't care. So I'm saying, like, why didn't the elevator doors close whenever she was like pressing the buttons? Like, that's so weird, right? I noticed the doors didn't close, and then she kept peeking out as if someone was following her. It looked like someone was genuinely following her, and she was like scared out of her mind. Then she comes back into the elevator, starts pressing the buttons again, and then the doors still wouldn't close. What's going on with the doors, yo? She peeks out the elevator door again, but this time she gets out of the elevator. And then she starts like feeling around. She's like as if, have you ever felt like, oh, this part is colder than over here? Kind of like that. Like, she's doing that, and it's like super creepy. She comes back into the elevator, does the button thing again. She leaves, and that time when she left, she didn't come back into the screen. Another thing I noticed is that the doors to the elevator don't close. You guys, something's fishy. Something paranormal is going on. Let's talk about the solutions that could have happened in this incident. So people were saying that maybe she committed suicide. I don't think so, because like I said, she doesn't have the physical appearance that she can open that thing herself, the water tank herself. So I don't know. And the hotel staff said that the doors were locked that led up to the water tank. So I don't know. Maybe they could have lied. I don't know. Another solution or conclusion to this case could have been she was murdered beforehand, and then someone brought her up there and dumped her body in there. And maybe, but you know, the autopsy did come back and they said that there was no physical trauma. Probably not. And they said that she didn't technically drown either. I like to keep my mind open, and I like to think of this as a paranormal case where, like, whenever she got to the hotel, there was like voices in her head that was just like, do this, do that, open this, I'll unlock this for you. But I like to keep my options on the table. I don't know. It's just her. I just felt like this could be a very big paranormal case, since she was acting super weird, and the hotel was notorious for like weird paranormal encounters, suicide, and raising serial killers. Who knows, right? Like, let's keep our mind open. This whole entire case itself reminds me of a movie called Dark Waters. Have you guys heard of that movie? It's a pretty good movie. It was, I think, actually released in 2003, so it came out actually before this case. And that's what scares me the most, is whenever a movie becomes a real live event. That's horrifying. The premise of it is very similar to this case. I really suggest you guys go watch it and then come back and tell me how you guys felt. But it's about a girl that dies and drowns in a water tank as well. And it's super creepy. And everybody in that apartment complex was drinking the water that her body was decomposing in. I just can't get my mind off of that. I can't get my mind off of like drinking water and then it's like a body has been decomposing in it the whole entire time. So what do you guys think? I really want to know y'all's opinion on this. Like, comment down below and tell me what you guys think. But yeah, creepy, right? So in my description, I'll be providing all of the video footages and stuff like that, so you guys can take a look at it yourself. Since I don't really know how to work on copyright yet, I just want you guys to be able to look at this stuff yourself. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. So comment down below if you guys want me to talk about anything else, because I love being able to talk to people who are interested in things like this. I like talking about true crime, conspiracy, paranormal encounters. Like, that just like gets me so interested. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, like, follow me on my social media platforms. I only have Instagram because I don't really know how to use Twitter, TikTok, and all that. So, you know, hit me up. I really want to know y'all's opinion on this case, and I want to have like more suggestions on what I should talk about next, because, you know, I really like this. This is fun. Whenever things work, that's whenever it's fun. So yeah, love you guys. Bye.